there was sort of a chapter of my activism where that was the main thing that I was talking about all the time, was these things that we are told are the negative emotions that we're not supposed to have, like anger and fear and sadness and despair. And I feel like the climate movement wastes a lot of energy trying to resist those emotions. And it's, first off, it's pretty destructive, because everybody that's feeling those things isn't sharing them, which means they're each thinking that there's something wrong with them and that they're crazy, or that they're bad activists because they're feeling this fear and anger and outrage and despair and sadness, and everybody else isn't, because they think everybody else isn't because they're not sharing it, when everybody's telling themselves that there must be something wrong with them. So I think that kind of cycle is extremely counterproductive, and I kind of resist the notion that those are negative emotions. As I mentioned earlier, one of the most impactful things for me was Beverly Harrison's explanation of how anger is intimately connected with love, that anger is a sign that something is wrong with one of our relationships. It's a sign that this relationship is not a mutual and loving relationship. But we can only be angry about the things that we care about. And so anger is also a sign that we care enough to bring that relationship back into a mutual and loving relationship. And that it can be used as that impetus to put us back on that path. It's not going to get us the whole way, but it can be honored and respected as that sign that we care enough to create mutual and loving relationships. I think we can also find a lot of value in honoring our sadness and in honoring our fear, and in really grieving. And I think, increasingly as we've passed the point and keep moving well past the point where it's too late to stop climate change, and it's too late for any amount of emissions reductions to prevent a fairly catastrophic level of climate impacts, grieving needs to become a core part of the work that we're doing. And in my own experience, grieving was a big part of what empowered me to take bolder actions then. And what I found was that when I kind of internalized the fact that it was too late to stop climate change, it did push me into a dark period for a while. And I did grieve for my own future. I grieved for the future of everyone that I cared about. I grieved for all that's currently being lost, and that's already been lost. And it was and it felt like a process of letting go of a lot of what I was holding on to, and it felt like just sort of like dropping everything, which is scary, to sort of drop everything that you're holding on to. But what I found when I did that was that I let go of a lot of things that I didn't need to be carrying. The things that I was clinging to, like my concerns about my own security and my financial welfare, or my career, or my reputation, and all these things that were more burdens, really. And once I let go of those, I found myself with a lot more space to hold on to the things that I really did love and care about, and the people that I loved and care about. And it was through that act of grieving that I ended up having a much deeper connection with my own gratitude as well, because it connected me in a deeper way towards all that I love. So I think we need to be willing to explore those emotions that we're too quick to label as negative emotions. That we need to realize that we need to be able to bring our full selves into this work and into this movement. That the only way we're going to get done the job that we need to be getting done is with full people. and that means the full range of emotions.